Yes, 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 yes. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah. Uh, it is about an hour later than I actually wanted to start this. A bit more even than that. So, not much preamble needed anyway. I do have a full screen cam setup now, which is pretty cool, I think. Yes, yes. Um, but yeah, it's a shit cam still, but I'll get to that in due time. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, we're just, uh, as I said last time, I want to do the cinema wins video as well. So that's what we're doing today. Not much, yeah. Uh, let's actually whoosh here. There we go. It's quite a long one. It's 55 minutes, so this might get a two-parter from me. I mean, apparently the video originally was a two-parter as well, so that would be fitting. And I am planning, oh, dude, I am planning on streaming again this Sunday. Who knows if I actually, do it or whatever. But yeah. So if we don't get to finish this video, I'll do it on Sunday. Um, yeah. Oh yes, I put a little overlay over the video. It's at it looks like it's at 100% now because the screen is black, but it's at 50 because the last stream got flagged while I was live. I had to restart the stream. It wasn't up anymore for a while. I disputed it because it's clearly fair use, but just so this shit don't happen again. Mm, yes. Okay, 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 okay. Let's just jump right into it. All right. Oh, cinema wins is like the I don't know the benevolent cousin of win of cinema sins, and he seems to be liked more than cinema sins. But I think they have pretty much the exact same problem, which is if the concept was just we're just looking at the good things in this movie or just at the bad things, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But they do both like exaggerate the good things. Um, I don't want to say lie, but they do make shit up to you know uh turn it into whatever they wanted uh to have looked at. So yeah, but yeah, let's start.
Job, Hawkeye.
Compliments? Guess that's why he switches to Ronin. Our insider knowledge makes this.
Uh, what? Sorry.
Job, Hawkeye.
Compliments? Guess that's why he switches to Ronin.
I I I'm lost on that one. I don't get it. Uh, yeah. Great start already, I guess. Yeah.
Our
I I
insider.
I, I don't know why what is like what's the connection there? I don't get it.
Job, Hawkeye.
Compliments? Guess that's why he switches to Ronin. Our insider knowledge makes this a gruesome and crushing scene. Clint wouldn't even notice the.
Yes. Wait. I'm gonna let him finish.
Just a Ronin. Our insider knowledge makes this a gruesome and crushing scene. Clint wouldn't even notice the dust or know what he was seeing if he did notice. We can even just barely see the family dust settle.
Yes. I when I rewatched this, I really liked that that we exactly know what this means, but he has no idea, and he's so confused. Like they're literally just gone, and it's the way it's shot is like it makes it believable that he looks somewhere else right as it happens. So the second he turns over, they're all gone, and it's fucking yeah, it's gruesome. It's awful. It's well done. I I I think I said this last time. I do like this part of the movie.
Cold opens, in this case a scene before the Marvel logo, aren't exclusive to Endgame. All of these movies have one. But this one is definitely more impactful.
Um.
Aren't exclusive to Endgame. All of these.
Uh. Yeah. I don't. I only really remember the one from Spider-Man. I'm sorry, but the Spider-Man one was good. I yeah, sure. I like the Spider-Man one, the Homecoming one. It's yeah, yeah.
These movies have one. But this one is definitely more impactful, catching up with an Avenger we missed last time. Infinity War actually opened on the Marvel logo, but forewent the typical theme for some dire Thanos music, since
Yes, and the distress call that the Guardians hear later on in the movie. I think the Infinity War intro is probably my favorite of the MCU movies. Uh, because it sets the tone for that movie really, really well. Like from second one, you're already kind of prepared on how dire that movie gets, even though there's like a lot of comedic stuff as well. Um, yeah, I'm a fan of it for sure.
that was his movie.
But I'm also a fan of this opening, though I do. Yeah, I just like the Infinity War one a lot, like a lot, a lot. Oh, I have to charge my phone quickly.
Now, Endgame ties us back into the emotional ending of Infinity War with some light dusting. We get the Marvel logo we've seen before.
Some light dust. I that yeah, that got a chuckle out of me. I like
The
that one.
emotional ending of Infinity War with some light dusting. We get the Marvel logo we've seen before, but with some blank spots, even showing where dusted Avengers should.
Oh shit! Oh really? I've never noticed that actually.
Get the Marvel logo we've seen before, but with some blank spots, even showing where dusted Avengers should be, but aren't.
Wow, that's actually kind of cool. I have never noticed that one.
Before, but with some blank spots, even showing where dusted Avengers should be, but aren't. You may not even notice right away, but it leaves you feeling a little empty. Granted, our remaining non-snapped Avengers just so happen to be our OGs. So, good to go.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about the meta, that you know why they did that, but it's not like a thing that couldn't happen that way, or is like super convenient in any way. I don't think. Like it only gets something you really think about if you're aware of the meta, right?
So the Marvel logo switched from red to black with a red 10 for 2018 MCU movies because it was the 10th anniversary and the red 10 pops on a black background. Captain Marvel and Endgame are both 2019 MCU and post-snap. The black.
Well, no. Captain Marvel is not post snap. Captain Marvel is, well, it came out post snap, sure, but so did Ant-Man and the Wasp, which also wasn't post snap, but like right before or during. I don't even know. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah, that must have taken place before Infinity War, I guess. Uh, and then the last scene takes place like during the ending of it. But Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s. That's like it's like before, I want to say that's before all of the MCU movies except for except for Captain America 1. Uh at least up to this point. I don't remember phase 4 and 5 well enough to say. But yeah.
Now feels like morning.
Sure. Sure.
Feels feels fitting that the return to the Benatar is with a little late 60s traffic, even if 62.5 to 87.5% of the Guardians are gone/dead, depending on how you count.
Uh, I don't. Okay.
A heart for
I don't see how that relates at all. Uh, I don't care really to figure that out.
5 to 87.5% of the Guardians are gone/dead, depending on how you count. A heart for anyone who figures out my math on that one. Also, Dear Mr. Fantasy is pretty on the nose. Something to make us all happy, takes us out of this gloom. I'm going to talk about this in the conclusion more, but this entire movie is a reminder of where everyone started compared to who they are now. If
Um,
this doesn't make you think about Robert Downey Jr.'s workout routine in that tank top, we opened on the
sure. Sure. Did he say that whole movie or the opening? This entire movie.
is a
Yeah, I mean, sure, that makes sense, right? I I I don't really see how that's a win. It's just an observation. That's something that bothers me about both of those cinema dingers. A lot of what they call sins or wins are just observations, and they would maybe say it with a different tone, but if they said like the same thing, like content wise, or I mean, like, yeah, like from what they're saying, right? They would probably give things to the same thing, I guess.
reminder
It's yeah, I don't see how this is really praise of the movie at
of
all.
where everyone started
It's just something he noticed, right?
compared to who they are now. If this doesn't make you think about Robert Downey Jr.'s workout routine in that tank top, we opened
Workout routine. Ah, I wouldn't. Yeah, okay,
on the
sure.
Infinity War
Sorry, I'm getting too. Yeah.
timeline, and now we're in Endgame proper with Tony's first goodbye message. It's a smart
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think pretty much everyone knew that Tony was gonna die. I mean, he had been part of this franchise for 11 years now. And I think um Robert Downey Jr. was talking about wanting to leave and the contracts were ending and everything. But yeah, it's foreshadowed for sure, for sure.
It's direct. You don't even realize the movie is telegraphing Tony's death at first. A moving and appropriate choice, allowing him a chance to look his death in the face and let Pepper know he'll be all right.
I paused because that he let that play for a while. I really like that music though. Um oh yeah, he's talking about that.
This is also the
Yeah.
same subdued but gorgeous piece of music from
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's a nice melody. It's good.
Alan
I like
Silvestri
it.
used during Tony's funeral.
I mean, the music in the music in the MCU can range from, and I'm talking about like the quote unquote Infinity Saga and the Spider-Man movies here, because again, I'm not really considering Phase 4 and 5 at all anymore when I talk about the MCU. But yeah, the music can range from pretty bland and forgettable to actually insanely good and interesting. Like my favorite soundtrack is probably the Black Panther one. I don't like that movie that much, but the music is really cool. It's by Ludwig Göransson, who also made a lot of music for Community. He produced, I think, like two or three Childish Gambino albums, or at least worked with him a lot. He made the Mandalorian music, and what he did for Black Panther was that he sorry he went to Africa. I think I'll react to that video once. I think he went to Africa and like uh spent time with a lot of like tribal musicians and incorporated that into the film music, as well as like the typical like European like orchestral sound that almost all of these movies have, and like trap elements because he originally was a hip hop producer, and it meshes so well. It's like an insanely interesting blend. The Killmonger theme is great. Uh, yeah, he's a great musician. I also really like the Doctor Strange music because it uses a, is it called a harpsichord in English? I think so. Yes, a harpsichord. Yes, which is hardly ever used anymore at all in music, but it works really well with like the mystical elements of Doctor Strange, and then the MCU Spider-Man movies. That music is really good too. Give me a second. I want you to not make sounds, please. Thank you. All right.
Captain Marvel to the rescue! We will miss your.
Uh, I I really don't like her as a character. She's just so smug and so uninteresting, and they try to push her so hard for the next like Avengers leader, and it really didn't work. I mean, when's the last time you heard about Captain Marvel in her last movie, which nobody watched, and the people who did didn't like it? So I think they stopped with that. We'll see in the new Avengers movies. But yeah, I really don't like her character. It's just really uninteresting.
Beautiful beard, Cap, but knowing who you have to be in this movie, I understand. Hugging and love and
What? What?
miss your beautiful beard, Cap, but knowing who you have to be in this movie, I understand.
Uh, okay, sure. Yeah.
Hugging and love and tearing up before the 10-minute mark? I said,
Yeah, again, like this is just I that's my prediction for this video. We'll have a lot of observations that are kind of the stings or emotional, like ooh I cried or ooh I clapped when fuck when Cap lifted the hammer or whatever. And it's just nothing I can really latch onto because it's just not an argument, right? It's yeah, which is a bit annoying.
to be in this movie, I understand. Hugging and love and tearing up before the 10-minute mark? I said this movie is about comparing our current selves to our past selves, and Nebula is a prime example. A story that spans, what, 4 movies with Karen Gillan? 2 subtle moments.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, I really like this moment,
That
and
mean a lot.
I also really like the one that we saw before, and I really like the one where I think Tony falls asleep and she like puts a jacket over him or something in the ship. They're all pretty. Yeah, yeah.
Coming from her.
But she gets ruined as well. Not ruined, but there's some damage done to her in this movie. We'll see if we get to it.
Here, take that. You find him. You put that on. You hide.
A timely reminder that Cap and Tony have not made up since Civil War.
Yes, and the only time we ever get to have that conflict again, because the next time they see each other, it's not brought up, and then the next time they see each other, he's like, "Oh, I don't. Yeah, it's fine. I don't really care anymore. I'm not angry," which is just such a missed opportunity. It's or not even a missed opportunity. We've been robbed. Like Civil War is way up there in the MCU, like for character conflict and consistency. and arcs as well, and had should have had like a huge impact on the MCU from how the movie ends. That should have, yeah, but we didn't get that reality. It sucks. It's part of why I really don't. Wait. Yeah, it's something that makes me really mad about this movie.
Let's go get this son of a...
Language.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen to that Avengers score. Updated with more horns, more triumph. Even the title card tells us whose movie this is. Golden, shining, solid, clean. Yup.
I hate the fake like laugh so much.
Tells us whose movie this
It makes me not believe you to an extent that is probably not fair. But it makes me think you don't mean not anything, but you're embellishing a lot when probably you're just embellishing a little bit. And I just really don't appreciate it. And yeah, sure, it's a. Is it more? I would have to compare them. But yeah, I mean, it's always been a good theme, right? I don't know.
is. Golden, shining, solid, clean. Yup. 1940s Iceman gets to go to space before going back.
Although to me, that sequence, every time I see it, it feels to me like it's okay, let's get this. Like it feels rushed. I don't know why. I mean, I think it is shorter than most of them, but it just feels like okay, let's get this over with. Let's get into the movie, and it's like I don't know. It's literally only the theme. It's like the D leitmotif, right? It's literally only da 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 da, and it feels like that. It feels like rushed. I don't know.
Solid, clean. Yup. 1940s Iceman gets to go to space before going back in time. Also memes.
Yeah. This is. I hope he doesn't do too many of those because I just don't like. What is there to say about this?
1940s Iceman gets to go to space before going back in time. Also memes.
What am I supposed to say about that? Like, yeah, he does. Okay.
One last little trick making you think he still has the stones is if he used the Power Stone to pull up the floor, but it's just Iron Hulk.
Yeah, haven't noticed that.
Man gets to go to space before going back in time. Also memes. One last little trick making you think he still has the stones.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I didn't notice that, so like for me that didn't hit, but maybe I'm alone there. I don't know.
As if he used the Power Stone to pull up the floor, but it's just Iron Hulk.
It's not Iron Hulk, it's Iron Banner. They're two different, and this is an important one as well. They're two different characters. Like, come on. Like, I know they're not in this movie, which is something that's a bit annoying as well, because it's basically just Banner looking like Hulk. Which, if that's true, he basically killed somebody. Like, he killed the Hulk then. Or maybe he didn't kill him. Maybe the Hulk is still in there, but like... doesn't seem great. And then also the thing that we didn't get to see that. And they didn't actually... Yeah. Like, he says, like, he like, merged them, but he really didn't. Like, character-wise. Yeah, I'm repeating myself now, but yeah, it's something that annoys me a little bit.
Let's call that teamwork.
Yes, sure, it is, I guess, right?
One last little trick making you think he still has the stones is if he used the Power Stone to pull up the floor, but it's just Iron Hulk. Let's call that teamwork.
It is.
I am inevitable.
No one ever talks about how Thanos ripped off Agent Smith, but that's...
Uh-huh. It's been a while since I've watched any of the Matrix viewers, so I don't know, but... Okay.
Inevitable.
No one ever talks about how Thanos ripped off Agent Smith, but that's okay. It's really not the I am statement that I walk away with. Barely comeuppance, but...
Like, okay. like as somebody who has seen a couple of Cinema Vince videos before, and maybe he'll do it like but like if I was if somebody told me, okay, make a video where you point out all the good things in Endgame, I wouldn't say comeuppance here. I would talk about how how much that means for uh Thor, that he, like, why he does that, right? Because you should have gone for the head and now he did. But fuck, now this time it wasn't actually a great decision. And like I would talk about that. Like there's a lot to be said about that, I feel. But no, it's just comeuppance. Ha ha ha.
Still comeuppance.
I went for the head.
Thor's only
Okay. No. Again, this is not okay. Let's let him talk.
saying that because you people on the internet were so mean to him, but a perfect showcase of how revenge will never really satisfy you. In fact, it's a good way to fall down the depression spiral.
That's still not what I would say. First of all, no, he says that because not Thor, sorry, Thanos told him you should have gone for the head, um, and he must have like for I don't know how long it was between Infinity War and Endgame, like in universe, like this part later on, it's 5 years as we know, but like he that must have been on repeat. Like that sentence must have been on repeat for him uh every second since that happened. And now he's like, okay, now I can actually go for the head. So he goes for the head, but now they even say like, why did you do that? This it's fucked now, because now they actually need him to be alive to like get something out of him, right? At least try to. So yeah, I like if I had time to write a script in this, my arguments would be more flushed out as well. But I feel like I did a better job now than he did here, and he had time to write a script.
Revenge will never really satisfy you. In fact, it's a good way to fall down the depression spiral.
No, he fell down the depression spiral because he, out of, in his mind, I'm thinking, out of vanity, more like arrogance, like, I want to see that motherfucker die. I don't want to give him a quick death. When, like, gave Thanos the opportunity to do the snap thingy. And like he feels super, like they say that later, he feels super responsible for that, right? But yeah. I had something to say as well. Oh, right, and then he does it now, but it's a little too late, and it's again actually the wrong thing to do. So, yeah.
What a real closing to Infinity War. Starting this movie with more defeat, even in success. But how about this upbeat Avengers-y space adventure-y tone? The trick that's played on us. Alright, let's get this on the internet were so mean to him, but a perfect showcase of how revenge will never really satisfy you.
Also, were people mean to Thor? I don't remember.
In fact, it's a good
Also, me, like, it's a
way to fall down the depression spiral. What a real closing to Infinity War. Starting this movie with more defeat, even in success.
yeah. Dude, look at Black Widow here. Like,
even in success.
she's so shocked about this.
But how?
I love her acting. She's such a great actress. Insanely good. Yeah. Sure. I agree with I agree with that. Although I do like the actual Infinity War ending a lot. But yeah, sure.
Beat Avengers-y space adventure-y tone. The trick that's played on us. Alright, let's get this son of a bitch. We'll chase him around the galaxy, fight some battles. I really need it after the downer of Infinity War. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, sure. Sure. I mean, that's something I do like about this movie, that like the first like act is pretty sad still. Pretty depressing, and up until up until Ant-Man shows up at the Avengers compound, right? It's I like that they took like, what is it, like 40 minutes, an hour out of their movie to still like revel in that for their like biggest movie ever. That's pretty cool.
He did. Oh my gosh, it's real. And it's possibly the best decision made for this movie. I asked for it in my Infinity War video, and I think everyone was a little nervous we'd get a Control Z.
Yeah, that's true. Although, and I do like the aspect of we like the snap happened, and even though they do reverse it later, the 5 years between it do make it like seem like it had an actual impact. However, we never got to see that after this movie. Like everybody was just like, yeah, let's not tackle that. Which I would have like. We really needed a five like the a blip movie basically, right? Um, and also I talked about this last time, but I'm just not behind the Avengers' objective in this movie. Again, because after 5 years of everybody acclimating to everybody's gone, or like more than half are gone, to bring them all back would like that would fuck up so much. First of all, resources and infrastructure have probably acclimated to like the um have probably acclimated to the population being significantly smaller now. And then what about like all the people who have moved on, right? Like 5 years is a long time. And there will be a lot of people who were married or in a relationship or whatever who have moved on with great like struggle as well, and now have maybe a new husband or wife, or maybe have children with a new person, and then they just show back up. Or even if that's not true, like that's gotta fuck with so much. Like shit, I had to work so hard to get over that, and now it's just back. And like the other person is like expect like would it probably like I would probably like, because the blip feels like nothing, right? I think they said that. Yeah, they say that in this movie. Spider-Man is like, yeah, you were uh uh uh, I was dusty, and then you were gone, and Doctor Strange was like, we have to blah, blah, right. It feels like no time, obviously, because they were dead. um so imagine yourself in the position of a blipped person. You come back and you're like, oh shit, I have a wife. And then you get home, and that wife is in a completely different place than from your perspective, like a second ago. Like, that's gotta suck ass, dude. That's gotta feel so horrible.
But goodness, is it not? 5 years of living in Thanos' universe.
Went on a date the other day. I didn't even know what to talk about. What did you talk about? My job, his job.
I give Joe Russo props for being willing to take all the ridiculous, unwarranted backlash for this representation right in himself.
Uh, I have no idea if that did happen. If it did, then that's bad, I guess. I mean, yeah, it is bad. Like, but I don't know.
We'll call it a baby steps win.
It's great.
And even the old timer is accepting and doesn't even bat an eye. I knew I loved Cap.
Got him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, imagine if Cap went on like on like a rant about the homosexuals. that would that wouldn't really fit with the tone, and also wouldn't really fit with his character, right? Like,
Backlash for this representation
Yeah.
right in himself.
So we'll call it a baby steps win.
It's great.
And even the old timer is accepting and doesn't even bat an eye. I knew I loved Cap.
Gotta move on.
Even before he confesses to Nat later, it's apparent that he's done moving on, as in can't, won't, not gonna move on.
Yeah, sure. But like, even if you call those like good writing things, which I'm not even convinced about, because still those are all like just, I feel like those are all just uh observations, but like even if you like, they're so tiny. And I guess that's the point, right? He's nitpicking or whatever, but yeah, I don't know.
All of us.
I'm kind of waiting for him to get to like the, because with this part of the movie I don't have a lot of issues. So I'm kind of waiting for him to get to the more annoying things about this movie for me.
Clairvoyance? Ha! The Terminal Beach, a sci-fi anthology book, contains a short entitled Endgame. Overkill with no...
Okay, I didn't know about that. Also, I like Chang's actor.
All about that. I can hear the questions in the back of my mind about why they'd put this van in storage, but when you think about it, whoever found it assumed Scott and whoever was at the controls got dusted, and the van is registered to Scott's company, so it's probably his ex-wife's storage unit. Or she rented a space for him.
Sure. I could see that.
Which reminds me this movie is woefully under Judy Greered. But the storage unit thing stands. Looking forward to the spin-off, The Rat. We'd all have been screwed without him.
Like, okay, like, this is pretty annoying to me. Like, the rat just after 5 years randomly walking to the van and pressing a button, and that puts it's like the initial thing that puts it all together. That's like such a shit writing choice. And he's like, he makes a choice, a choke,
Space for him. Which reminds me this movie is...
and then puts a win on. Like how is that in line with we're looking at the good things in every movie? That's more like we're turning bad things into good things, which is very different.
woefully under Judy
It's not celebrating good writing or good movie making anymore. It's bending writing or movie making to make it good,
Greered.
or glossing over things. Like it's fan lampshading in a way, right?
Storage unit thing stands. Looking forward to the spin-off, The Rat. We'd all have been screwed without him. Jax Films was pitting Endgame against Avatar, but this kid knows what's up. Such a 28 Days Later vibe.
Again, how is that a
Pitting Endgame
win?
against Avatar, but...
Sure.
This kid knows what's up. Such a 28 Days Later vibe. Again, our insider knowledge
Haven't seen that, so I don't know.
means it's not eerie for us, just sad. Getting to see both Clint and Scott deal with it for the first time throws us right back into shock.
Sure.
This quick indie film tracking shot is...
Is that indie? It's just a moving camera. Like,
believe it or not, one of my favorite moments in the movie. You barely notice his running is silent because of the panicky violin. Remember when the cat...
sure.
Casting of old Cassie spoiled the time travel for all of us, but then we were dead wrong about every other part? Yeah, me too.
I don't remember that. I'm sorry. Intentionally didn't look at anything before this movie came out, not even the trailers, because I wanted to go in blind. So no, I don't. Paul Rudd has big hands, huh? Damn.
You're so big.
Ugh.
I don't know why they recast, like in the third Ant-Man movie they recast her, right? And apparently she only like this actress only found out about it through like the official casting announcement. I think I'm not gonna look for it now, but it's like that's like kind of mean.
That crushing despair that you missed 5 years of your daughter's life mixed with relief that she's alive. Paul Rudd, sir, you are an actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor for sure. Like he can give some great performances. He doesn't get the opportunity that often in the MCU because he's like a bit of a goofball, but when he does, again, those hands are huge. Look, wow.
If I move on, who does this?
Maybe it doesn't need to be done.
But isn't that the point? The question isn't who will do this, it's what do I do without this?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, finally really digging into Nat's thoughts and feelings make it hurt all the more.
Yes, and I wish, dude, I wish so much that we had that there was like a a good Black Widow movie before Infinity War. And like I mean a Secret Avengers movie as well, but like Black Widow has so much potential as a character that never really got realized, and then she died in Endgame, and then they made that shit really really bad Black Widow movie. Ah, it's just so sad. Like, imagine a Black Widow Hawkeye movie where we actually see what happens in Budapest. Like, that would have been really cool. Yeah.
Nat either dyed her hair, I mean, Scarlett did, obviously, but I like the implication that in the 5 years since the snap, getting a haircut or keeping up on her blonde became less of a priority, and those are Natasha's actual red roots growing out.
Yes, this was always like kind of my impression as well, but I don't know if it actually tracks with the time. I'm not sure. And like, she would have gotten haircuts, at least her ends, because they're not like they're. Her hair is super pretty, right? It looks very good. You don't keep that up with never getting like any haircuts. I know.
Scarlett did, obviously, but I like the implication that in the 5 years since the snap, getting a haircut or keeping up on her blonde became less of a priority, and those are Natasha's actual red roots growing out. Scott Lang, the high-angle security camera guy.
Have either of you guys ever studied quantum?
Yeah. Again, ding. Cinema ding again.
Physics.
Only to make conversation.
And I'm gonna sing Paul Rudd's praises again.
Physics.
Only to make conversation.
Helpful. Sure.
And I'm gonna sing Paul Rudd's praises again. He has to capture confusion, disbelief, confusion, despair, optimism, and confusion, all while still being his comedic self.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a really good actor, for sure.
Are you talking about it?
But I mean, most like MCU actors and actresses, at least at this point, but even now, a lot of them are like really good, like best of the best, for sure.
Time machine?
No. No, of course not. No, not a time machine. This is more like, yeah, like a time machine.
Honesty.
And the fake laugh again.
Tony, prepare for some guests who have some crazy ideas, and you're going to be angry about it. They'll need your help with advice only you're knowledgeable about, and if you agree, you can get your family back. You know, your surrogate son. Oh, and also maybe kill some monsters along the way. You can get your and you're going to be angry. Honesty. Tony, prepare for some guests.
I don't understand that's the same house, right?
Who have some crazy ideas, and you're going to be angry about it. They'll need your help with advice only you're knowledgeable
Who is that? Like, I don't know the reference at all.
about, and if you agree, you can get
Monarch. Is that that's Godzilla, right? I have seen the 2014 Godzilla movie back like 8 years ago or something. I don't really remember it, but I remember liking it for the most part. I was kind of sad that fucking Bryan Cranston, I think, died pretty early on, right? And he was like the person I was most interested in. But yeah,
your family back.
Sure.
You know, your surrogate son.
Surrogate son. Yes, sure.
Oh, and also
Also, can we talk about because Cinema Sins didn't show it last time. Hey.
Oh, and also
God damn it. There we go. Tony is way better at doing the ears than Peter is. Way better.
Oh, and also maybe kill some monsters along the way.
Maguna.
Sly way of pretending like you didn't actually get your wish to name her after Pepper's Uncle Morgan.
After your eccentric uncle,
Right.
Morgan.
Morgan H. Stark. You want some lunch?
Aw, is the H for Howard? Named after two men.
Okay, sure. great writing decision, I guess.
Rescue shadowing.
Rescue Shadow. What?
Aw, is the H for Howard? Named after two men. Rescue shadowing.
Why?
Is the H for Howard? Named after
Yeah,
two men.
I don't understand what he's trying to say here.
Rescue shadowing.
And yet here we are.
Some are still standing, but Tony sits.
No. Mm. How is that? How, how is that praise?
It's a little metaphor for you.
How is that like that's okay, that's so lazy. It's such a lazy point.
I know, it's crazy. I'm wearing shirts now.
That is the weird part.
Oh, that's yeah, okay.
Self-awareness.
First
Ha 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 ha.
Hulk lost and Banner lost.
It might feel a touch underwhelming as the payoff to what Hulk's problem was in Infinity War.
Yeah, it's just a touch. No, it's not that it feels underwhelming as the payoff. It's that we didn't see the journey. And there was this whole scene that they cut from Infinity War, where they actually had a little conversation, and even that wasn't quite enough for me. But that would have been something. But like, I would have loved to see like how that happened, and like it doesn't have to be like a 20-minute sequence. Like you can do that in like 2-3 minutes, but at least there's something. And I mean, this movie is already 3 hours. Like I don't know, I really don't like it. And then again, the thing I talked about before, that he basically killed, or at least comatose the Hulk, because this is Banner with green paint and bigger, upscaled, I guess. Like this is not a merging of the Hulk and Banner at all, and that feels kind of iffy. But I guess it follows from the Avengers doing really iffy stuff without the movie really noticing at all.
But I really think it's that simple. Hulk had never been beaten so badly, and for what? The guy he shared a body with basically hated him, and no one on Earth will ever treat him as...
Yes. No. The guy he shared a body with basically hated him, and no one on Earth will ever treat... Dude, two typos in one, like in 3 words. Every treat his as well. Ever treat him as well as people did in Sakar. This was a very logical solution. No, it was, again. Also, it's not like the guy he shared a body with basically hated him. He also hated that guy, and that would have been also like thematically way more interesting if it was like a thing of acceptance and a thing of putting the parts together rather than pushing one part away in everything but the physical, right?
well as people did on Sakar. This was a...
Like now he basically just uses the Hulk's strength for his own purposes, which is what the Hulk always has hated, right? Like, I don't
very
know.
logical solution.
You want to take a picture with them?
Yeah, look, he's even saying no, he doesn't. I get it.
Come on.
Professor Hulk is a more warm-hearted and confident version of Bruce, even if the differences are pretty subtle.
Yeah, sure. A little bit.
Hulk out.
I love that of all the Avengers, Hulk is the one with multiple catchphrases and a fan club.
Say
Sure.
green. Listen to your mom. She knows better.
Obedience advice.
Pull this off.
Okay, yeah, we're not like I've been streaming for 50 minutes. I go through 7 minutes, 8 minutes of this. Not gonna finish this today. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'll try and do it on Sunday or like next week or something. But I'm really shooting for Sunday. Fuck. But this is pretty fucking tiring to me. Like, this is
Mom, she knows better.
Obedience advice.
this is nothing. Like, this is nothing. Like, how is that a point? How is that a point of praise? Like, I'm yeah, this is a little bit irritating to me. I'll be honest.
Pulled this off. I remember a time when that seemed pretty impossible too.
Flirting? Do we still acknowledge that stuff from Age of Ultron? Yeah.
Uh, it's like subtly acknowledged without ever being said out loud, I think. But sure, sure.
Yeah. Flirting. Flirting continuity. Man who controls Iron Man suit cannot operate kitchen sprayer, almost as if his subconscious needed to remind him that normalcy was never really for him.
I, that's the takeaway you have?
Flirting. Flirting continuity. Man who controls Iron Man suit cannot operate kitchen.
Like, I do stupid shit like that. I'm not sure I'm not Iron Man at all, but I'm not like stupid either, right? Like, this is I feel like you're kind of writing for the movie here
Sprayer,
a little bit.
as if his subconscious needed to remind him that normalcy was never really for him.
Like, this is never said at all. This is never said at all in this movie, and he like fights for that normalcy in a way that, again, I find not very consistent with his character, as I said last time. But yeah,
Oh, he sees the photo of his dad reminding him that science and engineering, yada yada. Nope. He actually did lose a child. It speaks to how much he has now. I don't personally believe Tony was ever truly anxious about the tech specifically, but losing his daughter because of some changes in the past, that's what he can't abide.
yes. Hey, how are ya? Yeah, I am pretty cute, aren't I? What? You're live.
Hello. Read the chat, bitch.
Yeah, I just saw it.
You just saw it. Hi.
Huh?
Am I on speaker?
Yes, you're on speaker.
Can I greet my parents, please?
Yes, of course, you can greet your parents.
Okay, so thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad, for bringing me into this world. I regret it every day. And yes, you're awesome when you're awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hä?
Schon für Dinge.
Ich glaube, Luna ist am Hören.
Hallo, Lina. Wait, this is game am Schauen.
No, I'm watching a video about Avengers Endgame.
And you're commenting on the commenting
Yes, yes, exactly.
section.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. Yeah, then I'm a keep watching
All right.
while I'm in the tram.
Alrighty.
Alrighty, my
Bye. See you Saturday.
yeah. By the way, did you watch the the battle between Beastie Boy, the rap battle Beastie Boy and some other guy?
No.
Watch it.
Okay. Send it to me.
I will do.
All right. Bye. Yeah, so that was Ozan. Apparently he's watching.
This time in the shape of a Mobius strip inverted.
Proof that Tony's STEM level is far beyond any of ours, since a Mobius strip inverted would just be a Mobius strip as far as I know.
I love you 3,000.
Since a Mobius strip inverted would just
I don't know what a Mobius strip is. So, sure.
be a Mobius strip.
You're a dumbass, Ozen. That was you. Wait, let me actually. I'll make you a mod as well. Because why not? um. Sure. Okay. You have a little wrench now next to your name. All right. Let's get
Strip, as far as
on
I
with
know.
this.
I love you 3000.
Oh, that's so cute, but I bet I never think about it ever again.
What's new with
Yeah. It's, again, like, um, it's cute and all, but how is this like a point in like how is this like something to praise about the writing other than it's kind of cute? Like, I don't know. And I'm not like I'm fine with him neat picking and everything, but I wish he would get a little bit more substantive, I guess.
composting?
Interesting sign.
No, I can't help everybody.
Okay, so Goop is Gwyneth Paltrow's company where she I think everybody knows about this, but she sold he sold she sold a scented candle that smelled like her vagina, and apparently it exploded in a few cases. Yeah.
What's new with composting?
And I guess she also sells a compost bin for $180, which I don't know how you could ever justify that, but sure.
No, I can't help everybody.
Sort of seems like you can.
Not if I stop. I can put a pin in it right now.
Jokes aside, if this isn't character growth, Tony doesn't ask for permission, he just does. But now he has a partner and is genuinely asking for Pepper's advice.
Yeah, I do like that. Okay, this is a substantive thing. I do like that a lot. Sure.
Tells me I should put it in a lockbox and drop it to the bottom of the lake.
But would you be able to rest?
And they made the right call about not playing coy about where this all leads. The shock of Tony's death isn't nearly as important as preparing us and making it feel earned. Even if he sees it coming, the love of his life knows there's no rest for Tony.
Yeah, again, but also, like, sure, it's a good writing decision, I agree. And it's in line with that whole Hitchcock thing, right? Where he said, like, a bomb just going off is, like, shocking, but that, like, flies over in a few seconds. But a bomb, like, being shown again and again and again before it actually explodes makes you, it makes it more, not exciting, more, tense. But I also don't know if they could have played it like as a shock, because again, Robert Downey Jr. talked about how he didn't want to do this anymore, and the contracts were like ending, and also it just makes sense that this would be the movie to send a lot of these characters off, and like he's been here from the beginning, and it's like a lot of people's favorites as well. So yeah.
Tony when he has the power to affect change.
Guys, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, well, you'd hope all the things you've done would give you a real bright, burning sensation.
Time
I don't get that, Chuck.
travel. I see this as an absolute win.
You're hired.
Wound up.
Again, the fake laugh. This isn't a point, like a substantive point against him. I just don't like it. It's like it feels so disingenuous. Yeah.
Pushing time through length.
And Cinema Sins, funnily enough, has the exact same problem as well.
It's tricky, dangerous. Somebody.
Wonder if that might work on anyone else in the future. Tony removing the Black Panther scratches was the right call. Could have been an awkward reminder.
It's awesome.
Sure. Yeah.
Careful on re-entry. There's an idiot in the landing zone.
Two astute observations.
But he also didn't have to land there. And there are like benches there. And nobody told him either. Like I'm with Scott here.
What's up, regular size man?
Side note, thank you for realizing how funny Don Cheadle is, filmmakers.
No, I hate it. Like I said that last time, I hated pretty much every line that came out of him. so cocky. And like, especially with Thor, but still.
Generosity. Also a meme win. Also full CG character handing something to a live action character. Supersonic rocket ship is exactly the Kinks song Thor would have on repeat in his new home away from home, where nobody has to be hip, nobody needs to be out of sight.
Yeah, but did Thor play that song? I don't think so.
They should be. 2 CGI characters enter a house to converse with 2 other CGI characters and a guy in a fat suit. None of this makes sense.
Yes, it's technically well done. I'd hope so for this movie, but sure.
Korg barely glances away from his game for a split second.
Feel free to
Yeah,
log into the
like we have 76 wins here. How many of those were like actual substantive writing things? 3 maybe? Like that's pretty bad. I'm not even talking about for the movie, because I actually think up until this point the movie deserves more than that. I'm more so talking about cinema wins. Like his whole thing is praising movies, and all he can come up with is ha ha ha. He made a joke, or ha ha ha. She said "love you 3000," or ooh look see chi and normal people but fat suit. Wow, like, dude.
Wi-Fi, no password, obviously.
Also, Korg's alive! Like, in the flesh, not just confirmed by a director. Bottle opener.
Sure, cool.
Like melted ice cream.
Where was he, by the way? I haven't seen Ragnarok in a while, but wasn't he in that ship? Yeah, he must have. Yeah, he was in that ship as well. And that ship, like, yeah, maybe it was explained in Endgame and I just don't remember, but I don't really understand how all these Asgardians got here.
You mean
like space isn't deadly for Thor, and I'm never sure about Asgard if they're all like have Thor's abilities. It's not quite clear. It doesn't seem that way. Not like lightning abilities, that obviously, but like the strength and the endurance and everything, because I don't think all of them are gods, right? But Korg is just a rock dude. Like I don't think it would make sense for him to survive like space, right?
Chris Hemsworth's workout routine? Look at those abs. It's just a little subcutaneous fat.
Who chopped Thanos' big head off?
Stormbreaker?
Korg is always a win.
You want to know who helped me?
No, I mean, I also don't like. It's a very short scene, but I also don't like Korg in this movie that much, because like he has the same problem as all the others that I talked about last time. Like Thor is in an existential crisis. Like he's clearly depressed, hardcore, and blames him basically for everything, himself for everything. And Korg is just like leeches off of that and like enables it, and then makes fun of him. Like, I don't know. That's not Korg from a Ragnarok at all. Like, yeah, Ragnarok Korg also made like jokes and everything, but he was like way more like socially aware, I guess, or like social IQ or whatever.
Thanos' big head off.
Stormbreaker?
Korg is always a win.
You want to know who helped me out of it?
Natasha.
It was you.
A moment that doesn't really matter if you missed Ragnarok, but you're rewarded if you saw it. Quick things like this are why the MCU works.
We're not into it. Don't care. Couldn't care.
Quick things for this is when the MCU works, because I think I said this last time. It's becoming my new catchphrase. I think I said this last time, but the MCU even at its best is like a 5 out of 10, like all considered, because the world building is often like really bad. But yeah, when they do that stuff, it works well. Sure.
Goodbye.
Not to mention this further shift from OG Thor, allowing him to truly embrace Ragnarok Thor.
No, that's not Ragnarok Thor at all. Like Ragnarok Thor, sure, he was goofier than before and everything, but like he still had a sense of purpose and everything, and he does not does not have that anymore.
Man, first night shot of a city shows that roughly half the buildings have their lights out.
I did not notice that. That's a good one. Like, this is not like this also is not a substantial
First leech out of a
writing point, but it's something that you easily miss, right?
shows that
So I think that's a good thing to point out. I'll ding you for that. Cinema wins.
roughly half the buildings have
Ding.
their lights out. Want to do a 2-minute oneer with a sword fight at the end? You'll
I don't know. Like, I know his face. I have no idea what he was in.
need Hiroyuki Sanada. Even if
Oh, also, when I watched this on Blu-ray, like last week, I only watch movies with subtitles on anymore, right? And like, I really like the subtitle style that they have in the scene, and when you put like the subtitles on, they're just gone, which is kind of sad.
it's tough to believe that Ronin could beat the Twilight Samurai so easily, Hiroyuki Sanada is always a win. And Shinjin's been killed twice now in Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't like this development for Hawkeye at all, but I think there's more substantive things to say about this than look, actor here, ding.
One side there, Lebowski.
Lebowski's dead, Tony. Hey, yo, A113 in a non-Pixar movie. Oh, hey.
A113. I don't know what A113 is.
Hey, a bigger one.
Why don't we just find baby Thanos, you know, and...
First of all, that's horrible.
It's Thanos.
I mean, if Deadpool can't do it, none of you can.
Choke, ding. Like, why? I know it's the format, but I don't like it. Why do you give the movie a win after you make a joke? That's not like praising anything.
Time cop, time after time.
Quantum leap.
Wrinkle in time, somewhere in time.
Hot tub time machine.
Hot tub time machine.
All great examples. Super appreciate only one gets a double mention. You could say it's a great white buffalo.
If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future, and your former present becomes the past, which can't now.
Okay, what is he gonna say about this? Is he gonna retract the win? Because this does not. First of all, it's a horrible explanation that does not make sense at all. And second of all, they do not follow those rules. So I'm wondering what he's gonna say here.
Will be changed by your new future.
I really, 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 really appreciate this.
Okay, to get the explanation again, right?
That past becomes your future.
You could say it's a great white buffalo.
If you travel to the past, that past becomes your future.
So if you travel to the past, that past becomes your future. So first of all, that's not true. That past becomes your present, if anything, right?
And your former present becomes the past,
Becomes your past, not the past.
which can't now be changed by your new future.
And also, this is a very convoluted way of saying timelines. There's timelines. When you go back, you basically either travel into or start a new timeline. It's so confusing, and I don't know why they did it like that. Maybe because they didn't follow those rules and didn't want people to catch on, I'm guessing.
I really, really,
So, yeah.
really, really, really appreciate this explanation. It's hard to have time travel not be a panacea for every problem.
What is a panacea? I don't know that word. Panacea definition. Let's see. Okay. A remedy for all diseases, evils, or difficulties, a cure-all. A remedy for all diseases, universal. Yeah. Okay. Again, it's not. If you just say we're doing the alternative timelines model, then that's it, basically.
Problem that ever comes up ever again. The multiverse is the answer, even if some people may be lying about it later. Thor's back, but he's not back.
What does he
Said was
mean?
there
What
for
does he
Some
mean?
people may be lying about it later.
What does he mean? Some people may be lying about it later. Nobody's lying about it. They just don't follow their fucking rules.
Thor's back, but he's not back. He said he was there for the beer, so he's checked out of all the important stuff. Jamming more kinks on his headphones, I assume. At first, this is just played off as a bit of sad nostalgia, but you can bet Tony made it clear to Clint that he needed to confirm objects can be brought back with them.
Then why not show that? No, you can't do that. You're writing for the movie again. And also, yes, those ends are definitely cut on Black Widow. But yeah, you can't praise a movie for something you've made up. That's not how any of this works.
You can bet Tony made it clear to Clint that he needed to confirm objects can be brought back with them, breaking the old Terminator rule. Never exposited for us, just an example of filmmakers trusting their audience.
No. If that like it's not a problem either way, right? But if that's what we're supposed to take from that, then that has to be in the writing at least a little bit. Like
Terminator rule. Never exposited for us, just an example of filmmakers trusting their audience a little.
Take it to house.
This is how you can think like shit like The Last Jedi is cool. It's good. It's well written. Because you just make up shit that doesn't happen. Like that Holdo thinks fucking what's her name? His name. Poe. Fucking Poe is a fucking traitor, right?
God, which is where I'm from.
Leave it to the nicest Avenger to try to keep the smile up for the drowning tale.
No, that's not. I mean, it's an interpretation, but it seemed to me like he's actually into it. Like that's the joke that like Thor: The Dark World is so shitty. Only a goofball like Scott can like it, and I like that explanation more. But I mean, either way, right?
Which is where I'm from.
Leave it to the nicest Avenger to try to keep the smile up for the drowning tale. Ha! Hulk's eating his own eye.
Like this doesn't look like I'm smiling. It looks like interest in trying to follow the story, but also like being excited about it. But yeah.
Leave it to the nicest Avenger to try to keep the smile up for the drowning tale. Ha! Hulk's eating his own ice cream. And no one's got a fork for Nebula?
This is the fight of our lives. And we're gonna win, whatever it takes.
He's pretty good at that.
To be fair, he's had so much practice. But
Yeah, but he was good at that from the beginning. Maybe not as good, but like even in World War II, he was pretty sorry, I don't know why I did this. Even in World War II, he was pretty fucking good at this.
Don't ever get tired of it. Glad he got one more solid, rousing speech in there.
Promise to bring that back in one piece, right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll do my best.
These goofy little character interactions are such a huge part of why the MCU and these team-up movies are such a gift to all of us.
Yes, the MCU at its best is really good with characters, for sure. And I like that. I like that interaction a lot. And I don't know why he cut it out. Then Rocket says to that, what does he say? Like, that's not great as far as promises go, or something like that, which is a great line as well.
Rocket and Hawkeye's first time working together, first time meeting. It's that feeling I think I first described in Civil War, where my two buddies I've known independently for years are messing with each other and having a good time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, for sure. And I mean, like, the pinnacle of this for me was probably, I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but a really good one is Thor and Rocket in Infinity War. Like, Dream Team. Like, really cool. Really great interactions, great chemistry, great acting as well. Yeah.
It's like introducing your cool friend to your other cool friend, and they both just get cooler in the process, and you feel cooler by association.
As promises go, that was pretty
Yeah.
lame.
See you in a minute.
And you feel cooler by association.
As promises go, that was pretty lame.
As promises go, that was pretty lame. That's a cool line. That's a great line. I like that.
See you in a minute.
Maybe smash a few things along the way.
That didn't get a win. That did not get a win. Because that's a good one. That's a good little... Because you're like, yeah, see you in a minute. Da-da-da-da. And then when you rewatch it, you're like, shit. Like, that's a... I like that one.
Maybe smash a few things along the way. I think it's gratuitous, but whatever.
Gratuitous or not? Wait, so whose workout routine is this? Let's just call it Professor Hulk's. Believably selling the bit.
You have anything with
appreciate.
Yeah, it's a funny moment, but again, it's like so surface level. And again, I'm fine with nitpicks, but if the whole thing of your channel is you show like the good in movies, then I'd hope for some substantial things as well.
That there's no real shade thrown at movies that weren't as loved as others. They'll do it sometimes to say, hey, look, we're cool, we hate this too, but no, you're allowed to like The Dark World.
Again, I think they do that a little bit when Thor talks about like the Dark World. But yeah, in this scene it's treated well. Well enough at least, which is cool. But it's not like, oh, you're allowed. Like, this annoys me as well. Of course, you're allowed to like everything, but we can still talk about good and bad writing, right? And Thor: The Dark World is. I was gonna say it's not well written, and I'm pretty sure it isn't. But like, that's one of those movies, like that and The Incredible Hulk, are the movies that you like watch, and while you're watching them, you forget what's happening. So I couldn't even like make an argument here, but it's not well liked at least, and like. Of course you're allowed to, but I don't know. Yeah, I just don't like this too much.
It's still part of the MCU. Some people have even made videos about why it's alright to like it.
Why it's alright to like it. Again, yeah. Like whatever. I don't, like, who cares? Just don't tell me it's good when. Just don't conflate those two things, right? Don't conflate like the quality with your enjoyment. That's like all. That's all I'm asking. But what I do agree with is that like Joss Whedon does that really well, especially in Buffy. Like the first season of Buffy is awful. The second season of Buffy is better, but pretty bad as well. But then it gets really good after that, and you really have to see those first two seasons to understand. And I like that. I like that you incorporate all of it and make it better retrospectively instead of just ignoring that it happened. Like Joss Whedon did that a little bit with Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is really bad. Like especially regarding like Tony's character. Like he has a lot of anxiety from Avengers in that movie, but it's treated as a joke. And then Age of Ultron comes around, which is not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination. But he actually treats that anxiety thing and the trauma Iron Man took from that movie. He takes that and makes something serious out of it, which is cool. Which is really cool.
Found a beer pouch in his time travel shrink suit. Right here. Godslap.
You guys watch each other six.
They take that to like the most insane extremes. Gamora's saving her sister. Wow, never thought I'd miss a baddie's theme.
That's a weird take. That's a weird take for sure. I mean, the Empire theme, Killmonger. I'm sure like there's oh, Vulture. Vulture theme is insanely good. Like, why would he say that?
Session clouds his judgment.
Thanos probably predicted Ronan's betrayal from the beginning, just letting us know how cunning he really is.
Okay. Sure. Okay, sure. Yeah, sure. I'm fine with that.
As far as I'm concerned, that's America's ass.
Yep.
I don't know why that joke just doesn't land for me that well. And they harp on it so much.
Behind the scenes of iconic moments, and Tony lampshading some of the more unbelievable ones.
All right, get him on his feet. Now stand around posing up a storm later.
Flick me.
There's a side story here where Nebula and Tony meet a couple times a month to practice paper football, and I want to see it.
Sure.
How things have changed. Last time Tony was falling from this building, it was tense, and now he's nearly invincible. Someone pointed that out a year ago.
Do you have to suck your own dick? all the time? Like, is that necessary? Like, cool. You made a video a year ago. Great. Awesome.
The MCU finally got that moment some of the comic community was so upset about for like a week. But talk about more character growth. Knowing that just because you can take them all, done it before, doesn't mean you should or even need to.
Yes. Yes, I like that. I agree. It's, he knows that this time brute forcing it, probably not the greatest, probably even in Winter Soldier. I haven't seen that movie in ages. But he knows that this time brute forcing it, not the greatest idea, so he goes about it smarter. Almost like Tony. Like he learned some stuff from Tony as well, which is cool.
Loki's alive? Maybe?
Yes, and it leads to probably the worst fucking yeah, in my opinion. Oh, I don't want to say that too much, but yeah, for me, like it's my least favorite MCU thing, and it's competes for the worst with She-Hulk and Doctor Strange, just because it's reality shattering and also character shattering. But that a lot of the MCU Phase 4 and 5 projects are that. But Loki, the show is like reality shattering. Again, they, as I said last time, they nuke the concept of free will here.
Oh, that worked a treat. That was so crazy.
I had no idea if that was gonna work.
OG formal Thor mixed with rebooted Ragnarok Thor.
He was like this all along, guys. You just didn't see it.
Oh, you gotta be
Language! Yes, sir.
I can do this all day. Yeah, I know. I know.
Again, let's actually Cinema Wins channel. What's your channel description, Mr. Wins? Because liking things is more fun than not liking things, so I don't even agree with that necessarily. Sometimes the critics are wrong. Some movies, while full of plot holes, continuity errors, and bad acting, have plenty of wins. Sure. See, I can get behind that, for sure. I can be like, I'm fine with you saying, look, even the bad movies have good things in them. Probably not all of them. There's some that is like really hard to find anything good. But I mean, like, if that's your thing, then do that. But I don't know. Not like this. Not like this. And if you're trying to point out the good, then laughing at a joke and giving it what, like 5 wins? That doesn't seem like yeah, that doesn't seem great. Like doesn't seem conducive to your goal. Every week I'll do a movie you loved and maybe the world hates. Did you go into a movie with your mind made up? Maybe there's some greatness in that. More greatness in that than you thought. And some movies are just so good they deserve the winning treatment. Sure. The internet is full of so much hate and negativity. Ultimately, I hope my videos will brighten your day. Sure it is. But some movies do deserve like criticism. And if we're talking about writing, which is like my biggest interest in like movies or stories in general, if we're like talking about that, right? Then I don't know. Like it makes sense to criticize the bad because in that for that you'll appreciate the good so much more. Like if everyone's super, nobody is. Like yeah, it's kind of true. I use a similar format as CinemaSin specifically to speed their opposite. This is just my spin on films that I think don't get the respect they deserve or are so good they need to be celebrated. Or more often, stupid crap that made me laugh and want to watch again. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't hate the idea in concept, but really not a fan of his execution of it. Also, why are all these thumbnails so like bad, like low resolution? I see here. Okay. And see, like here, so far I'm more annoyed, I think, by Cinema Wins than I was by Cinema Sins. Now, if I if I watched this video and then the video by Cinema Sins, I'd probably be way more annoyed by Cinema Sins. But that's just like my bias because Alien is like one of my favorite movies, and Avengers, while I do like still like it in a way, I also like don't, and I think it's pretty bad, right? Um, this just has to do with I'm probably a bit more okay with bullshit when I agree with the conclusion, which is like probably pretty normal for normal, but it's also something that you should be aware of, I guess. Yeah. Anyway. Like, dude, I don't. Everything great about Joker. I hope this is a good video because Joker is such a great movie. And I mean, at the same time, while I probably wouldn't be as annoyed at like Wally or the Batman or Joker or I don't know what else is good. No Way Home, everything like that. I'd probably still be annoyed at it because even even still his like I would have said a lot of things that he didn't say if I was tasked with making this video. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we only have 15 minutes. I've been going for an hour and a half. I'll go for like another half an hour and then I'll finish it on Sunday because I do have to work tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know. I know.
This is one of those scenes.
Yeah, he adds 5 things for goddamn joke that he liked. Like, come on.
You'd write in your head and you'd wish they'd put it in the movie, but then they gave it to us.
That is America's ass.
Compliments.
If I give up.
Yes. I need a cigarette.
Time stone to help your reality, I'm dooming my own.
And there'd be no bargaining.
I'm not sure the science really supports that.
We now get to see the difference between Banner and Professor Hulk. Bruce is still unsure, a little jittery, whereas Professor Hulk barely took a second to think before going to take the time stone from the Ancient One.
Strange.
Sure. I'll be honest here, that wasn't very obvious to me when I saw it, but I think you can see, yeah, I think you can make that argument. But I would still say like Hulk is Professor Hulk is so clearly like it's 90% Banner and maybe 10% Hulk. Yeah.
He gave it away. He gave it to Thanos.
Willingly?
Yes.
Why?
I have no idea. Maybe he made a mistake.
Or I did.
I can't believe how well thought out this was. Strange knew he had to give the stone willingly to Thanos. It couldn't be taken because then the Ancient One wouldn't have known Strange saw the only outcome in which they win. Her ability to see the future but not beyond her death makes this all work.
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Her ability to be taken because out this was.
Maybe he made a mistake.
Or I did.
I can't believe how well thought out this.
Also, well thought out, dude. It's infuriating to me a little bit that he just. But I mean, I guess that's the point of his channel. But still, he just glances over the whole fucking explanation of her with the time stones and everything, which like throws a no. This is why I'm annoyed at this. I just realized this. I'm annoyed because before he said yes, thank God for this explanation. When Professor Hulk explained the timeline thing, he said like, what a great explanation, I'm so thankful for this. And then she gives a different explanation and he just glances over it because it would weaken his point. And that's, yeah, I'll say it, that's dishonest, right? That's not like, that's like, yeah, dishonest.
Was. Strange knew he had to give the stone willingly to Thanos. It couldn't be taken because then the Ancient One wouldn't have known Strange saw the only outcome in which they win. Her ability to see the future but not beyond her death makes this all work. He sent her a freaking coded message through time and death. In case you're confused, 2014 Thanos would absolutely...
I don't know. That seems like a stretch again.
You know about the Avengers, since he was behind Loki's missions to Earth that failed because of the Avengers in 2012.
I'm totally from the future.
Honesty. And how
and this, again, the fake laugh. I don't like it. Not a fan.
Apparently all Asgardians think raccoons are rabbits?
The rabbit is correct.
Which is something that I'm not sure how I feel about it. Because I think I'm not like this is not like I can be moved in this, but I think this joke works better if they just have never seen raccoons in they don't have them in Asgard, but they do have rabbits, so he just likens it to the closest thing he knows, which then wouldn't translate to all of them doing that. I don't know.
Acting clearly the smartest among you.
Rat? Oh, wait!
I'm still worthy.
Heartbreaking and a true depiction of depression that Thor believed he was unworthy because of his failure.
Yes, but will you talk about how this timeline is now fucked because they don't have the hammer? Which could not be true because of the thing that like Captain America goes back. But like it's like he doesn't know that, right? Like that's a point that CinemaSins made that I very much agree with. Like he doesn't know that and is just fine with it, and then the mom is just also fine with it.
That crushes me on a personal level, being able to relate, and brightens my spirit all at the same time that there is such a visual representation for Thor and anyone with depression.
Okay, but also are you going to talk about how for 90% of this movie, the depression angle is just a joke? Are we going to get to that ever?
Hear this message. You are still worthy. Worthy of respect, love, relationships, hammers, whatever. Love it.
So he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Intuition.
And really don't like that either. So, like again, I just don't like Rhoda in this movie. Like he's so up his own ass. Like so much better than everybody. Like what? He's an idiot because he enjoys music and dances to it and sings to it. Like no, I fucking that's fucking cool as shit. Good on him that he does that. I don't know.
Tiny little moments revealing our Gamora beneath the facade of 2014 Gamora. A slight recoil from Thanos' touch, a hand on her weapon when Maw threatens Nebula.
I would never betray you.
Amazing. Before Guardians 1 and 2 and Infinity War, I believe Nebula could not even conceive of betraying her father. again showing her growth over the years.
Before Guardians 1 and, like, she never showed up before Guardians 1. What do you mean?
There's another way to retake the Tesseract and acquire new particles.
Ha! Secretary Jeremiah might have accidentally reminded Tony of that.
That's been.
Before we get to that, again, are you just gonna glance over how this should have been the first thing on anybody's mind, especially like Tony and Banner? Like,
Shield property for over 70 years.
I don't know why I call him Banner and not Bruce, because I call pretty much everybody else by their first name.
Know for a fact they were there.
Who's they? What are we doing?
How I know.
And not to get all cap on you,
To look on the bright side.
Of course I haven't.
but we know how he knows because what Howard was working on was the super soldier serum. And Tony knows because they all found out together that Bucky killed his dad. Well, Cap already knew, but Tony found out in front of them. Meaning, without the events of Civil War, without the battle that destroyed the Avengers and led to them being separated in Infinity War, they may have failed.
They may have like, first of all, like, retrospective reasoning, but second of all, like, sure, they may have failed here, but they had way better chances of winning Infinity War in the first place. And then again, like, why, like, if you like Infinity War so much, which is super fair, I love fucking Infinity War, it's a great movie, but if you like Infinity War so much, like, are you not gonna talk about how that conflict was just pushed to the side? Like, it's annoying to me. You can't just, like, I guess I'm getting more and more convinced that I'm not a big fan of this format either way. Because you can't just say everything great about yada 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 and then just say the good things, but not talk about the bad things that are, like, standing in the way of the point you're making. Like,
Stan Lee catchphrases.
Cool. No, it occurred once. Hello?
You.
To look on the bright side.
Of course I haven't.
But we know how he knows because or they may have failed. I've said it a few times. He catchphrases. Hey man, make love, not war. I've said it a few times now, but thank you, Stan. I'll never stop thanking you for all of this. The Blu-ray and DVD have a really great tribute to Stan, touching on and talking about most of his cameos. There may never be a more genuine, positive energy radiating man. Stan Lee is and will.
I mean, he also did some pretty bad shit, but yeah, let's not talk about that.
Always be a win.
Yes? This is Captain Stevens.
A bunch of fake naming geniuses on the Avengers. One puts an S on the end of his first name, and the other just steals the name of the guy he's talking to, who happens to be his dad, and combines it with his wife.
Howard.
Yeah.
Potts.
One of them had a hippie beard.
Hippie, like Bee Gees or Mungo Jerry?
Definitely Mungo Jerry.
Was Wolverine in there somewhere and I missed it?
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I didn't know what I didn't know what he looks like, so this is the first time I'm seeing this.
Ooh, that look. Destroyed but still in love and so excited to see her look. Ooh.
I thought my dad was tough on me. And now, looking back on it, I just remember the good stuff.
Such a gift to give Tony this closure with his dad, one of his most strained relationships. Also hugging.
You tell us where it is, then we'll be on our way.
Liebchen.
So I looked up the German translation for Liebchen, Hydra leader that came out of the Nazis, makes sense. And no option is less condescending than the last in this context. Condescension isn't really a win. Oh, I know. So I looked up the German translation for Liebchen, Hydra leader that came out of the Nazis, makes sense. And no option is less condescending than the last in this context.
Like the last what? Show me.
Condescension isn't really a win. Oh, I know.
Okay, so the things that he saw is treasure, sweetheart, sweetie, honey, peach, darling, dearest, beloved, dear, sweet, love, dearie, candy, mistress. Mistress? Lady, love, lover, heart, sweetie, heart's desire, ducky, dearie. Dearie twice, squeeze, pet, dears. I mean, I would say sweetie or sweetheart or honey are like the closest ones. But like, wouldn't sweetheart be the most condescending here? Mistress really doesn't work for me.
Whatever it takes.
When you realize that Cap's words were the catalyst for two main characters' deaths.
Whatever it takes.
The last 5 years I've been trying to do one thing, get to right here. That's all it's been about, bringing everybody back.
I have so many thoughts on this scene. The contrast to Infinity War's version where Gamora was unwillingly sacrificed, now giving us a picture of true love between these two, giving...
I mean, true love. I think Thanos does love. I mean, it's confirmed, right? He wouldn't have gotten the stone if he didn't. I think Thanos does love Gamora. Gamora doesn't. I think there might still be some love there. But yeah, this is definitely more like even, I guess. Both-sided.
Everything they have to save the other. Very particular fantastical circumstances. Loving relationships don't usually, and IRL shouldn't require you to sacrifice your life. But as a hyper-realized version of reality, this was it for Nat.
I mean, in this context, yes.
Needed to save her family, Clint included. Finally wiping the red from her ledger. So much of her journey in the MCU was trying to find her purpose, figure out which side she was on, and she finally feels like she's found it, just in time to die for it.
Yeah, on its face, I'm not like... Don't disagree with anything here that he says. I would have to rewatch the MCU to go deeper, but
Let me go.
As much as this smile does make me sob, she's giddy. She's ecstatic that she has a chance to fix it, and she's not going to let anything stand in her way.
It's okay.
Even her own self-sacrifice. And even with...
See? Now this is fair. This is, to me, this is the best that Cinema Wins could be. If his videos were filled with that, and then maybe instead of being 20 minutes to an hour long, they're 5 minutes long for some of them, I'd have way less of a problem with him. Way less.
The victory of the stone, Alan Silvestri's score reinforces the dread and despair we're all feeling.
Yes, however, I said this last time, but I do not like that they use the same music here.
Do we know if she had family? Yeah. Us.
While that's probably self-evident, they actually had a conversation about it.
I used to have nothing, and then I got this family, and I was better because of it.
So, of course she's willing to give up her life for these people. They're all she has.
Yeah, for sure.
Character continuity.
Let me do something good.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm fine with that too.
I really wanted to open a can of worms this week and talk about Thor, but I just have way too much to say, so I have to put it off for the conclusion. Right now, I'll say this is another crushing Thor moment that brings me to tears every time I see it. It's a...
I mean, I'm not gonna say like he's not allowed to have that reaction, obviously, but it's just weird to me that he can with everything surrounding it, with them making like if he's actually like it sounds like he can relate to this because he has like his own issues with depression, which I do as well, and I was so fucking annoyed at it being a joke all the time. Like I don't quite understand how he can just glance over that, and I also don't think it's good. I think we should talk about that. I think it's bad. I think it's bad representation. Yeah.
Perfect representation of Thor fighting against his depression and trying again to undo it with a quick fix, to atone for his internalized sins, something we all know doesn't work. His friends finally see it.
You're in no condition.
Tony isn't talking about Thor's weight gain. and his instant defeat and the way he hangs his head makes the blood drain from my body.
It's good.
Uh-huh. Also Cheese Whiz. Like,
Living me.
But the radiation's mostly gamma. It's like, I was made for this.
But also, does everyone get the best moment from their entire 10-year story, or what? This is a payoff from the Avengers.
So you're saying that the Hulk, the other guy, saved my life? It's a nice sentiment. Saved it for what?
I guess we'll find out.
And when you really think about it, Hulk doesn't have the intelligence to use the stones. He'd probably accidentally snap himself back to Sakaar.
Yes, sure.
But with the brains to make the right wish and the gamma brawn to survive the snap, Professor Hulk was made for this.
Sure. I'm not against that, and that's probably why they did it. But, you know.
Also, there seems to be an entire cult-like following of Hot Professor Hulk. Let's just say his design and implementation are phenomenal and leave it at that.
You remember?
Yeah, I can see that. He's pretty. Sure, I can see that. Probably not. Like, yeah, that's not.
Thanos snapped away 5 years ago. We're just bringing them back to now, today. Don't change anything from the last 5 years.
Seems obvious, but when your daughter's life is on the line, you make sure.
Take it off! No, wait, Bruce, are you okay?
Cap would know a thing or two about sticking it out when everyone else thinks you're dying.
Send it off! Kill it! Kill the actor! No! No!
Sure.
I can do this!
A little touch that using the stones actually reduces muscle mass on the arm, like it literally sucks the life out of you. I love how they subtly answered the "what about the birds" question here. Yep, they got snapped, now they blipped.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think let's I don't know. Yeah, and I mean this is confirmation, right?
Honey.
Listen to that score. Not something we get to hear often in the MCU.
I don't know if that's true. It feels true, but I couldn't tell you. And I mean, there's a bunch of beautiful somber like songs in the MCU. Like, oh, dude, Far From Home, where Peter goes to that place in Venice to get like the flower for MJ. It's like very cheesy in a way, like very like Italian romance music, but it's beautiful. I don't want to play it, but I'll check what it's called. 1 second. Far From Home. Far From Home. Oh, sorry. Give me a second. Spider-Man Far From Home. By Michael Giacchino. Is it? Yes, this one. It's called It's Perfect by Michael Giacchino. And it's very, very beautiful. Yes. Yes. Like there's a couple good like somber beautiful songs in the MCU for sure.
Quiet, peaceful, hopeful. Who knew a guy answering a phone could give you so many emotions? Just in case it was unclear how Ant-Man survived, a phone could give you so many emotions. Just in case it was unclear how Ant-Man
Yeah,
survived.
he goes small.
Well, that's one way to soft reboot the Avengers. Pretty brutal.
Yeah, and they still haven't done that. Okay, I'm gonna call it here. It's 11:10. I do have to work tomorrow. I will try and I will finish this within the week. Hopefully on Sunday. I think Sunday is realistic. So I'll see you then. I it just I hope this wasn't like this all the time. I don't think so. I feel like somebody would have told me. But anyway, yeah, I'll see you soon.